Hello and welcome to Verity, where truth and conversation converge. I'm your main man, Kerwin D. Joining me in the conversation is Bekah Ward. Bekah is an actress, performer, and multi-talented individual. See, I'm kind of building her up to do all these kinds of things, but she's a fantastic person. Glad to have her on the show. Welcome to Verity, Bekah.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Now let's just give everybody a little bit of background. What was your, because we understand that you are a character performer at Disney. So, what was
Yes.
your path to becoming a character uh, actress?
Um, well, it's quite a long one for sure. So I went to Valdosta State University for musical theater, and so I've been pursuing musical theater professionally for the past probably like 3 years. So I've been doing professional contracts up in Indiana and back in Georgia, and Disney World's always been in the back of my brain. I've just always loved Disney, and so I was done with a contract about around February, and I noticed that there was an in-person audition for Disney for mouse height, which is my height. I'm 4'11". So I went to the audition, and that was the first time I've ever auditioned for Disney. And in this business, you have to get used to hearing more no's than yeses. So I didn't expect anything, and you have to go ahead and think of the next thing ahead. So I was already thinking about, okay, what next do I need to audition for? And then about a month later, I heard from them, and I had an interview, and I mean, the rest is history. So I'm here in Orlando, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Well, now, how do you prepare for that kind of a role?
Oh my
We
goodness.
know you got the height. I mean, so I guess you say, okay, how do I prepare for this?
Yeah, I would probably recommend working out. Working out definitely, just because like in Orlando, it's very hot. It's very hot, but also I would definitely recommend really looking into the world of Disney and their characters, because there's
Mm.
so many characters that as a character performer you can play. So you have to have a whole repertoire of characters and their stories and their backstories and their characteristics, and you have to learn their signatures. And so I would definitely recommend understanding the world of Disney, but also really understanding those characters. Because once I got into the company, I knew everybody knows Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy, but I really learned more about their personalities
Mm.
once I got here and started really diving into those characters, and they're really funny to me.
So, do you play
So
more than
yeah,
one character, or do you play the same character?
yes, multiple,
Okay, so you could
multiple.
be something one day or one week, or how does that work?
Yes, so you can be one character at a park one day and a different character at another park the next day. It's really, um, it's all over the place.
Okay,
um,
okay.
it's really exciting. It's not really as chaotic as, because once you start doing all these different characters, you get used
Mm.
to the excitement of like, oh my gosh, I get to play like this character, and then I get to do a different character the next day. So it's really
Okay.
fun.
So do you are these non-speaking roles, or do you have to sing in any of them, or do you have to dance or do some other type of characteristic of the character that you're playing?
Yeah, so the characters I play, I don't speak, but I do dance.
Okay,
So a lot of physical acting and dancing.
okay. And you're wearing a suit. Are you suited up with the whole makeup, or are you kind of like your face exposed? You got a whole, or does it vary?
It varies.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Do you have a preference of what characters you like, or character seems to
Oh,
really you enjoy playing?
it is so hard. It's really so hard because every character that I get to play, I really love. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, but that's good. So how competitive was it? How competitive was the audition?
Oh, it was it was very competitive. I mean, again, it was my first time auditioning for Disney, and I
Mhm.
already understood that it was a big company. But the second I walked in the room, there was over 90 people the same height as me, and being 4'11" and a performer,
Mhm.
you don't really see that often. So it was really like
We had all the
nice. I felt
411
like I
people
found
in the
my
country.
people in that audition, just over 90 people, and it definitely was competitive, but it was a lot of fun because a lot of people, yes, this industry is so it's so easy to get competitive and try to make it up to the top. But at the end of the day, we're here to support each other. And so I met a lot of really nice people at that audition that actually made it with me, that I'm still friends with today. So it was really nice to, like, yes, there's competition, but also, like, at the end of the day, like, we're all here to support each other as actors.
So what's a typical day like for you?
Mm.
Is
Um,
there a typical day?
there's there's not really.
Okay.
It really
Okay.
is, really, you have to be on your toes and just expect what's given, because I mean some days I'll have morning shifts and I have to get to a park, and sometimes it's a 10-minute walk, and sometimes if you're at Magic Kingdom it's about a 45-minute travel time. So it really just depends. Um, it really depends on the shift that you get.
Okay. Okay. So you work a shift and then you
Yes.
get off and then you is there a second shift or what's a shift? What's a morning shift like? I mean,
Um, Sometimes it ranges between, I mean, the hours quite vary. It just
okay.
depends on the shift itself. Some can go for 8 hours, some can go for 10, some can go for 6.
Oh,
It really
okay.
varies.
Rain or shine.
Yep, rain or shine.
Rain or shine. Okay. The show must go on.
Yes, the show must go
Okay.
on.
Show business. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
So let me ask a question. So, everybody, well, everybody's not completely back to normal, but things are progressing back to normal since the strike. So, how did this strike impact you and your work?
Um, it, you mean the SAG-AFTRA strike is what you're
Sure,
talking about,
sure.
right?
Yes, yes. I
Yes.
apologize. Yes.
Yeah, it really didn't affect us too much. Although, just because, like, especially with, like, the film industry and stuff, even though us in particular not really in the film industry, we definitely been nothing but supportive of,
Mhm,
our fellow artists,
mhm,
during this time.
mhm.
So yeah.
Okay. So, as a, are you guys the performers, character performer? Are you required to be a member of one of the unions to work
um
under?
no, we Disney has their own union.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, Disney.
So yeah.
Their
So
own.
although we're not in the union, itself, we've been nothing but supportive of a lot of our friends who don't work at Disney and are definitely being affected by that.
Okay, fantastic. So, do you feel that your work in college did that really prepare you? Did you feel, hey, listen, I can go in here. I feel confident from what I've done in my undergrad to go in here and do my best and get this position. Did you feel
Oh,
that you were really prepared?
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Good.
Especially with musical theater, you're singing, you're dancing, you're acting, and also with, when you are majoring in musical theater, you have to learn about all the technical aspects. And I even, without majoring in musical theater, I think it's important as an artist to learn about every aspect of theater, and film too, especially film. So I definitely think learning about doing a lot of tech stuff in college, and also learning how to dance and sing and act and everything, it prepared me for anything. And
Hmm.
that's definitely what Disney is, that you have to be on your toes and expect anything to happen.
And you've been doing that how long now?
Disney World,
Yes, as a
I've been
character
here
performer.
for about 3 months.
Okay, okay. So you new
Yeah.
to the game, to the Disney.
Yes, I'm still new. There's still so much that I'm learning.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So how is it? I mean, is Florida new to you? Is that whole area of the South new to you, or?
Actually, not as new. It definitely. I come from a small town in, South Georgia, but we live
Which
only
town is
about
that?
3.5 hours away
Which
from,
town?
or hmm?
Which town?
Moultrie. Yeah, I live about 3.5 hours from, Orlando. My parents do, and so we would come visit to Universal and Disney World all the time. So
Okay.
I'm familiar somewhat with the area, but living here, there's still been a lot that I've discovered.
So
So,
did you have as younger when you were younger? Did you have aspirations of when one day I'd like to work here? One day I'd like to.
um, it actually came much later In my life, growing up, I was very shy. I did not sing at all. I did not perform or
Really?
anything. I did sports. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Social anxiety,
How'd you
everything.
overcome all of that?
Yeah. So around freshman year of high school, I joined choir because all of my friends were in it, and
Okay.
I auditioned for a solo, and the rest was history. And I did musical theater in high school, and I learned a little more. I mean, all Disney's always been a part of everybody's lives in childhood,
Mhm.
but I didn't go to Disney until I was around college. And once I got there as a performer, I've been like, wow, I think I really would love to work here one day.
Wow. So what's your career aspirations?
Um, so one day I would love to move to New York. I love Disney World. Don't get me wrong, and
Mhm.
I love it. But one of my dreams is to definitely go to New York and do
Mhm.
the whole New York scene and
Mhm.
Broadway. So that's kind of what I'm working for.
Okay. You like to do a little show, you like to act on Broadway and get some of that under your belt? Okay.
Yes.
To do the theater. Okay, live
Yeah.
theater. Okay.
Mhm.
What about film? What about recording music or anything like that? Anything like that in your plans?
It's I've always been open to it.
Okay.
I have I've done one film recently. Last summer, I was in a production. It was called The Confession. It was a movie musical
Mhm.
from Blue Gate Musicals, and it was filmed similarly to Hamilton. So it's
Mhm.
the stage, and it was filmed professionally, and we had it play in select movie theaters in February. And I really enjoyed doing the whole film, even though it wasn't like it was filmed, but it was more of like theater with it being professionally filmed, and it kind of sparked some interest in me of like to pursue the film a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, so yeah,
But you kind of open to see what comes along and hey, give it a shot.
yes,
Okay. So at Disney, do some of the younger performers come under the wings and guidance of some of the other performers, kind of like mentor mentee kind of relationships?
yes. I've definitely, even though I haven't been here that long, they've definitely Disney's always bringing in new people,
Okay.
and so I've made an effort to anytime I see a new person, I share any information that I can with them, just because I'm again, like I said earlier, like we're all here to support each other, whether
Hmm.
we're new or if we're veterans, we've been here for a long time, like just to be nice and support each other. So yeah.
That's fantastic. So we're about out of time, but what would you say to someone who's going to be watching this saying, you know what, I'd like to work with Disney one day. I'd like to give my best shot at becoming a character performer. What advice would you share with them?
I would share to don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. I think it's very important, not as artists, but as people, to constantly not live out of fear. Because, especially not just with Disney World, but anything in entertainment in the industry, you have to be on your toes. And as for me, growing up being shy, I was so scared to step out of my comfort zone. But the second I did, it completely changed my life. And I would not be here today and doing what I do today without stepping out of my comfort zone. So don't be afraid. Just do it.
All right, just do it. I've heard that somewhere. Anyway, Becca Ward, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We appreciate it. All the best to you in your endeavors at Disney World or wherever your travels may take you. All right.
Thank you so much. It was so fun being here.
Appreciate you spending some time with us. I'm your main man, Kerwin D. We're going to dot back with you next time. We got another fantastic guest on Verity where truth and conversation converge. Check us out next time. Peace.